Please. What's up, Boss Babes? Welcome to another episode of Boss Please. This is Malynda, as I'm sure you know my voice by now. I was just saying hi, Megan.
Okay, I was like, bitch, you're talking too loud. I need the mic. No, I'm just kidding. I'm so sorry.
I'm here with Megan and Jillian.
Yeah, I'm the quiet one.
Yes.
Sorry.
Thanks for listening in. All right, ladies, since Megan wants to talk, Megan, how were you a boss this week?
Of course, and I couldn't think of how I was a boss this week. No, but honestly, I know it seems like kind of minor, but I didn't have work all this week, so it was really important to me to keep myself busy, obviously, because I've just been a little stressed out. So I've really, it's really to you guys. Thank you for taking the time to be with me. I've really spent a lot of time with friends, and I felt like I needed that for my mental health and to heal my heart. And that's what people should do. And I was like, I really value all my friends, and I'm really thankful for. No, don't cry, Jill.
Oh, I know. It's
no,
like tear emoji.
No, thank you. No, seriously, and I need to do that more because I am seriously surrounded by such great people, and I'm really appreciative.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Wow, we got the longest mani-pedi ever.
We did, and I got a neck massage. Yeah. It was great. It was so good.
Awesome. How sweet is that, Meg?
Oh,
Jillian's literally about to cry.
I
She's
know,
I'm
one
so
sentence away
emotional.
from crying.
Well, mine is not as emotional. I was a boss this week. But I've just been, I kind of talked about it before, but I've been trying to do a lot of self-care and relaxing and sleeping. So this week
We're laughing because we know where this is
know
going.
what she's gonna say. I think we know. I know what you're gonna say.
Are you gonna talk about?
My what?
You know exactly, girl.
You know
just
what
say
we're talking about. Just say it.
No, I don't.
Are you serious? The experience that you just had?
The self-care experience that you just had.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
That's where I thought you were going with it.
Sorry, listeners. This is so loud. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about this for a second. I went to a Korean spa.
How could you not
That's
bring
what we
that
thought
up?
you were
That's
talking
what I was
about.
going
Oh my god. I'm sorry. That was the most long-winded thing to get to this point. I went to a Korean spa, and I don't know if you guys have ever been to a Korean spa, but I got a scrub and a massage, and you're completely naked. So, I was a boss because I faced my fears.
Yes.
And, this sounds so stupid, but, you think, oh, it's not that big of a deal because, whatever, y'all have the same parts, and you're just, but, all these women were completely naked. And then, to top that off, I already, had to, get over the hump of, being naked and showering in front of women and walking around naked, and they only give you really small towels. But I got this scrub, and, I was just, on a massage table with other naked women on massage tables, and they were just she scrubbed me so hard, you guys. If you could have seen the stuff that came off my skin,
I can't.
I feel
I
a cleansed 2018. I don't know,
girl.
I believe in sage and Palo Santo. I think every year I'm gonna start myself up with a scrub because I just scrubbed off all the dirt from 2017.
Scrub it off, girl. Scrub it off.
Was that not what you were going to talk about?
I was just going to talk about how I've been trying to sleep more, but this is so much better.
Melinda and I were
We were
yes,
we're
know
waiting
where
for
she's
you to
going
talk
with
about this. Yeah.
It was
just
just,
what are you talking about?
it was just it was the wildest experience. And if you want to just, throw your inhibitions at the door and you want to try something new, I would say to totally do that. I'm a little scarred from the experience, but I think I might go back.
It's amazing.
Because now I know what to expect, but definitely something that I would never normally do.
I love it. It's
That's
hysterical. I
Lord.
died
Oh
when
God,
you
you
first
guys.
told us about that. What about you, girl?
For me, I think I already talked about this though, but I've still successfully been off of sugar.
Oh, I don't
Which
think
is
I knew
crazy. Yeah. Well, okay, so I'm trying to, don't give me this look, but I am trying to lose weight because I'm actually doing 3 cruise ship contracts. And I don't want to, when you're on a cruise ship, you're probably going to eat like crap. So I just want to also my costumes and for the show that I'm doing, whatever. So I'm okay, I just want to get a little bit more in shape. But yeah, so I cut out sugar. It's really difficult, especially because my husband's a huge
Sweet
sugar
tooth.
for
That
sweet
sounds
tooth.
so
Yeah,
difficult.
it is difficult, but a lot of fruit. A lot of fruit.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, so
It's
sugar
natural
as in
sugar, but
got
not
it,
in
got
like
it, got it.
donuts.
Oh,
Ice
God.
cream.
I'm so
Cake.
hungry right now. You know how
Pie.
hungry I am
Yeah,
right
she's
now.
been talking about going to get pizza for the
I
last.
am so hungry.
So yeah, I've been a boss with food, and I eat really healthy normally, just because I'm vegan. But I love cooking and everything. But sweets are my
we went to
Achilles
a
heel.
good vegan restaurant.
Yeah,
the other
it's
day.
called
That was
something
really
vegan.
Good. Yeah.
Dang, ladies.
Maybe they can sponsor this show. Holla.
So, we have kind of talked about this before, I guess, but I think it's important for us to go into a little bit into depth about it, get a little real. How do you guys prevent getting walked all over by people?
I'm gonna go in on that
Yeah.
because it's very easy to, especially in my line of work. Just even like, for example, I'm not really doing weddings anymore, but more corporate parties and gigs and just like my music. But like production managers for like the events or like the event planners, like it's very easy for them to treat you like the help or the entertainment. And I make it very clear, your event will not happen without me. I'm the music. Like your event will be boring without me. Like, let's just be honest. So I try to always establish a line of respect when I get there and I have to meet with the person. If I get any kind of attitude from somebody, I literally go, hold on, let's just talk about this. You know, what do you need? Are you okay? And I try to make them realize that they're being ridiculous so that they don't try to walk all over me and treat me a certain way. And it's hard with music, especially being a female, obviously. It's people feel it's easier just to walk all over you. But I think if you respect someone from the beginning or show them that you're very warm, it almost makes them have to do a self-check. Like, why am I treating this person like this? They're being really, really wonderful to me. There's no reason for me to be acting this way. So... But yeah. I will cut a bitch if I need to.
Well, I think it really starts with step one, which is knowing your worth.
Yeah, yes. I was literally going to say the same thing.
Yeah, and like once I figured out what I was worth, you know, I stopped working for free. That was one thing that I was like, you know what? This is, in our industry especially, like, you know, I think all three of us can relate. You know, we're constantly asked for favors. Yes. And those favors do not get returned. Right. And it's very frustrating because you can never expect somebody to behave in the same way that you behave. Exactly. So a couple years ago, I sort of made like a mental pledge to myself that I was done doing free work. And I have not done free work since I made that decision.
I've done that too, yeah.
And it's just like, you know, if you're not going to benefit from it and you're literally like, it's okay to do favors for people, but like, I know how much I'm worth, and if I'm giving you any sort of service, I need to be compensated for it. So that's how I prevent myself from being walked all over. Let's have that conversation in the forefront. Before, it was a passive conversation. It was like, oh, I can talk about it later. We can always talk about money later. Oh, if they don't want to pay me, oh, it's okay. Now it's like, here's my rate.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, especially in this industry, people make you think that, oh, you're lucky to work with me. Like, I know I've worked with a couple of companies that they're like, oh, you're privileged to even have this job. So, like, you're not going to get paid what you deserve. But at the same time, it's like, exactly. But you need to flip your mentality and be like, no. You are lucky to have me. Know what you bring to the table. And Jill and you and Malynda, you both said it perfectly. Like, know your self-worth. Yeah. And also have a conversation with yourself before you go into that job or before you have that, you know, big meeting with your boss. Talk yourself up and be like, no, listen, this is what I do, and this is what I deserve, and this is what I'm worth, and no one's going to tell me any different.
Yeah. I think also it's funny when people, at least for me, I don't know if you guys have experienced this, they're like, oh, you're going to get exposure. It's like, exposure doesn't pay my bills.
Exactly.
Exposure doesn't pay my bills. Yeah. So
you're
no.
You're going to get Instagram followers.
Yeah.
It's like, okay,
like,
well.
Thanks.
A mention doesn't pay the rent.
Right. A mention doesn't pay the rent. Yes.
Yeah,
that's good.
That's really good. So just, I guess moral of the story is know your worth and be a boss about it.
And add taxes, Jillian.
Oh, yes. Oh, I was in Santa Monica when I took that picture.
Oh, that was you who posted
that picture. Yeah. And then I forgot. She asked me to post it, and me being a space cadet like I am, I totally forgot.
Yeah, know your worth and add tax.
Yes, I loved it. I loved it so much.
Great.
Well, we have a great guest on today. She definitely knows what she is worth. She is an awesome production manager for commercials, and we'll be right back with her.
Welcome back, Boss Babes. We are here with our special guest, Jen Hengst. Jen is a production manager here in Los Angeles, and she accidentally fell into the entertainment industry after working an internship on a Katy Perry music video. Since then, she's worked her way up the production ladder of commercials and now is a badass female production manager. Welcome to the show, Jen.
Welcome, Jen. Thanks. Thanks for having me.
So tell us what a day in the life of a production manager is like, what a production manager does. Some of our viewers don't really know like what a production manager is, so explain it to us.
Basically, as an overarching, I manage the budget on commercials, and I hire and negotiate with key crew members and negotiate with vendors on how much equipment costs, that kind of thing. So when I'm on set, I have to be aware of the big picture of what's going on. And when people make decisions on changing things or adding things, what that does to affect not only the budget but all the other departments.
That's like a lot of stress.
Yeah.
So you really have to be adaptable.
Yes. Yeah. And you have to have like I said, a big picture idea of everything that's going on in the whole commercial in every department. And if it's like a multi-day, multi-location, with our department building in multiple locations on different days and then shooting and pre-lighting in different places.
How do you keep calm? How do you keep your cool?
That's a good question.
Breathe a lot.
That's always a good thing.
I know, but just taking a minute to breathe, and I honestly I like pray a lot, and just say, give me either some patience with this person or understanding of this situation, or
You do a lot of stuff, obviously, on set, but what do you do before you even get to set? Because I'm assuming production manager has to do a lot of scouting and, like, the planning and everything before you even do the shoot.
There's definitely, depending on how many shoot days there is, I'm doing a job right now that's just one shoot day, which is amazing. And I've had probably, 7 days of prep on it, which is more than some people get. But I just get in contact, make sure that we're booking key crew, like we need a DP, make sure that communicate with his agent on his rate, get him all dialed in, and then get his crew from them, call them, talk to all of them, and introduce myself, give them an idea of what we're doing, send them all the creative, any sort of special things that we're doing on that shoot. I brief them about, and then tell them, here's the rates for you and your crew. And
sounds like a lot of math.
There's Excel, which does that math for you.
I like it.
That's great. That's great.
But yeah, you have to be able to do some math in your head, definitely.
So TV, film, commercials, which you're in, seems like a male-dominated industry. Do you mostly work with males, or are you working with women as well?
Production as a department is predominantly female. Except for producers. Most producers are men. Actually, in commercials, I feel like it's kind of half and half, producers as being men or women. But for the most part, my position is primarily female. Coordinators and office PAs are primarily females. Like, producer is kind of like the top of that department, and that's what your goal should be. So I think it's actually great that I think that it's kind of 50-50 in commercials, but I know that it's different in film and TV. I have to say, commercials I feel like are very different than film and TV. Film and TV are much more long form, and they're the same thing in theory, but in reality they work a little differently. So in production, you don't have a whole lot of crossover, like people who do commercials and I'll do a TV show. And other crew, grips and electrics, they'll cross over because it's all kind of the same for them. So I'm speaking primarily about commercials because that's the only thing that I work in.
Sure.
So in my view, I think that in production, there is a good number of females. That's awesome. There is. It's in other departments, like camera, grip, electric, Teamsters. Those are heavily dominated by men. There's actually an online community that I'm part of. It's like a Yahoo group for production people, and the post that's been very active recently is looking for female gang boss. And for those of you who don't know, a gang boss is like a transportation captain. Like, they manage all the vehicles, all the drivers, for what days, and that kind of thing. So, and someone was like, "Why is everyone asking for all these, posting all these things, asking for like female this, female that? Is that like the trend right now?"
Right.
The trend.
I know. I was just like. And then someone luckily responded and said, no, it's not a trend. I wouldn't call, us wanting equality as a trend. And then, of course, a lawyer came in and was like, well, it's illegal to hire based on, sex or gender. And it's like, no, that's not what we're trying to do. We're not saying I only want to hire women. It's like, hey, do you know a female that does
You
this?
want to give a female the opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you said before that you kind of fell into this. So what was the plan before this?
It wasn't like your face says completely different.
There wasn't a plan. I went to school for photography. My senior year of college, I realized that I didn't want to be a photographer.
But your Instagram though must be on
My
point.
Instagram is fantastic. Very well composed.
I believe it.
I know how to, I know how to manipulate my levels and contrast.
There you go.
So, I graduated college and didn't want to be a photographer. Worked for a photographer, but like waited tables in St. Louis for like 5 years after college, and then moved here with a boyfriend for his career as a photographer. And didn't really have a plan for myself. So I feel very lucky that I fell into production specifically because I realized that I want to be around creativity. I have that ability to understand it, but I'm not necessarily a creator. Like, I don't necessarily come up with the ideas. So it's great to be in a position where someone else has already come up with the creative, and then we just have to figure out how to facilitate it, how to make it happen, and then in a very logistical, like practical way. So, but you have to be able to also understand the creative when you're doing that.
Right.
So it's been a really happy middle ground that I feel like I've found on accident, kind of.
You said you deal a lot with finances and planning. Are you a planner in your real life?
God, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, no, I'm the person that I buys my Christmas flights in July, and like I do my taxes in February. You know,
Okay.
You're ahead of the game.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
In your position, have you ever not been taken seriously because you're a female?
Absolutely, especially when I started production managing. So I've been production managing for about a year now. So still kind of green, but yeah, absolutely. And still, you know, I had a location manager one time address me with my full name when he was trying to tell me to do something. He said, Jennifer, and ended blah, blah, blah. So, oh yeah.
You should see Jillian and Megan's faces right now. We're all in shock. That's so condescending.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. You kind of have to realize that maybe fighting that battle isn't necessarily worth it in that moment. And especially in commercials, like you work with so many different people, and you could work with one person once and like never see them again. So it's not.
That's true.
It's for the most part, unless it's not like obvious harassment, like it's not worth it for me. I just kind of figure out how to deal with them for the rest of the shoot days, the 2 or 3 or whatever shoot days, and then it's done.
Yep.
But you kind of have to figure out what role you're gonna play in your working business relationship with people. And for men, it's mother, sister, lover. So, and of course, by lover, I don't mean like actually having sex with my crew members, but but it's really interesting. You kind of have to figure out. It sounds manipulative, but it's kind of like the best way. Like I've found to say, "Oh, I'm this guy's sister. Let's have that kind of relationship." And some people you flirt with a little bit. That's how you get them to do what you want them to do, basically. Yeah.
Would you say that your skin has gotten thicker? Because I know when I came to LA, I did not have thick skin at all.
Now it's so much better. The hardest thing that I had to do was I was raised incredibly conservative Christian. So I was not raised to be independent or assertive or managing men. Essentially, I was raised to be passive, and my dad didn't want me to go to college, He didn't see the point, because I was supposed to get married and have kids, you know? So to be in a position now where 80 to 90% of the people that I'm managing are men, and some of them, I would say quite a few of them that are like my father's age at this point, because I'm dealing with like department heads, you know, I've grown a lot because I've had to, you know, because that's what terrified me so much about making this career move was, oh my God, I'm going to have to talk to and negotiate with these men. And it was terrifying because I wasn't brought up to do that, you know? Like, I wasn't brought up to tell a key grip, like, I need you. I'm not paying $8,000 for this. Yeah. Like,
like, get it together.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or like, can we figure out another way? Or, you know, is there a more affordable option? Like, you know, in most cases, I'm not saying no flat out, but it's negotiation, you know, and that's something that literally within the last year, I feel like I've gotten so much stronger.
So segueing from that, what do you feel like has been your biggest boss moment being a production manager?
I just finished, I did all the Best Buy holiday campaigns.
Oh, wow.
It was like 16 spots.
Wow.
So 17 shoot days. I remember when the producer sent me the calendar for this job, and I was like, what the hell did I just get myself into? I am so terrified. I was scared shitless.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's
like,
a lot.
And I think just that job as a whole, being able to have done it, and you know, I made mistakes. I did. But to have been able to do that and feel good about that, like that job, I think was the biggest confidence booster I've had in a long time.
That's amazing.
To be able to look back and say, yeah, I did that.
That's really cool that even as a boss, you can admit your mistakes.
Yeah,
Totally.
That's great. I love that.
It's funny that you say what was my biggest boss moment, because I have been kind of on a high off of that job and been like, look at me, I can do all this stuff.
You should.
And then I just started another commercial, and we shoot next week, and it's a 1 day, 1 location, like easy peasy, so much easier than what I just did. And ever since I started, I've been like, I can do this.
Yes.
This is no big deal.
I love it.
But then we tech scouted on Friday, and I messed up some things. I forgot some very key things. And my producer, who I love, and I've been working with her for years now, and we've both just recently, she used to be the production manager and I was her coordinator. Now she's the producer and I'm her production manager. She gave me one of the most amazing, supportive, like non-condescending, like come to Jesus talks that I've ever had.
Wow.
Yesterday.
That's awesome.
And I am so grateful that I'm, first of all, at a point where I can accept that criticism and say, she's like, listen, you screwed these things up. Like, you should have done this and this. And she's like, but, you know, like, I just need you. She was basically like, you need to be on point. You need to be paying attention. You need to be covering your bases, especially because you're a new production manager. And you didn't do that. So I need you to do that. And she was also like, I need you to tell me how I can help you do that.
That's awesome.
You know? So, yeah, I did this great 17-day shoot, blah, blah, blah. But, like, I still need to keep myself humble, you know? And not, like, yeah, I'm a boss, but, like, I can be the best boss by keeping myself humble.
Oh, I love that.
That's my motto, 2018, stay humble. And with that, thank you so much for coming on the show, and we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Boss Please Pod. And don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe on iTunes. Navigate the path to your best self with us, because bossing together is always better.